Hey, what's Gucci fam? How y'all doing? I got fun little news for y'all. So, next month at church in Fukushima, that's the church I serve at, altar server. My job, I'm getting a job promotion. I'm gonna start reading the hours, like the third hour, next month. And I've been the last two times I've gone there, I've been reading the Psalms during confession in English. So I think this may be a Slavic tradition, because I know in the Antiochian church and I think the Greek church, we don't do confession. I say we because we all the same church. We don't do confession and like in the morning prior to the start of liturgy. But in the Slavic tradition, we do. Again, I'm saying we because we're one church. But here in Japan, we should follow the Slavic tradition, and so there's confession, and then you have, technically the reading of the third hour, not technically, the reading of the third hour, and the liturgy starts. Because I don't know if I ever told you this. So if you ever come to Japan, my hair is looking jankety jank. If y'all ever come to Japan and you go to Banto is like Vespers, right? Great Vespers on Saturday night. It's like an hour and a half, something like that, hour and 40 minutes. And the reason why is because it's Vespers and Matins together, which tripped me out because I was like, yeah, this is long, so I'm gonna go home. Why is this so long? Back in St. Elizabeth, it's only like 45 minutes, I remember. But that's why. So if you ever come to Japan and you go to like Nikkaido up in Tokyo here, or any other churches, and you come on a Saturday night, and you confused as to why it's so long, is because it's Vespers, Matins. Yeah, I think the first hour. I don't know. I think it's Matins and Vespers, Vespers and Matins. So when you come to church on Sunday morning, there's just the reading of the third hour, and then the liturgy starts. So during confession, there's reading of the Psalms, so you kind of don't hear people give their confession. And I asked Father, I was like, hey, Father, can I do that? I want to do that in English. He's like, all right, go ahead. So that's pretty cool. Last time I actually was prepped for it, and I brought my, every time I walk past the cemetery, I cross myself. Lord have mercy. It's a Buddhist cemetery. I don't care. The Lord made them. So pray for their souls anyway. I was prepared, so I brought my Bible with me. It's sitting there going through. But last time, like this past Sunday, I forgot about it. I didn't know I was going to do it all the time. So I ain't had my Bible with me. But then Granddaddy, the man who's helping me do it, he's like, why don't you just put your phone there? So he's like, just open a book, put your phone there, read from your phone. I'm like, bet. All right, so I did that, and that worked. But I also bought the Hours book when I was in Nikkaido, and eventually I want to start reading through that, because at the church here in Fukushima, when I'm in Tokyo, anyway, here in Fukushima it's all old people, man. And last time when I went, this past Sunday, it was me and one of my homeboys, an American dude who started living there teaching English a couple years back. So he came and he brought a friend, which is cool. He brought a non-Christian Japanese friend, and she was confused, as we all are in the beginning, but she seemed to enjoy it, so it's good. But other than us, it was 1, 2, 3, 4 4 elderly people in their late 70s, 80s. So I want to start learning how to read some of this stuff so I can help out a little bit more. And then Father said, all right, how do we do this? Next Sunday, so Fukushima Church only meets once a month. So in November, when we have service, I want you to read the first part of the third hour up until you start reading the Psalms, and then the other person will take over. It's like, okay, so it's the what is it, the Glory to Thee, O God, and then the Trisagion and the Our Father, right? So I'm gonna be doing that, and then, you know, another person is gonna take over the Psalms. Then eventually I'll get, God willing, get to the point where I can read the Psalms. But you know, little by little, I'm trying, little by little, not to freak out about all this, about life. Just, you know, little by little. Oh, because like Father told me during confession, he said, yo, I forget what he said. There's a Japanese phrase for this, but I'm sorry, I forgot what it was. But he basically said, like, overthinking and worrying about stuff, like, you know, watching the news and seeing all this stuff that's happening, worrying and overthinking about stuff, is essentially the same as not doing anything, right? So, like, you spend all this time freaking out, worrying, you're not doing anything. Nothing is being done, right? It's, yeah. So stop it. You know, he's like, it's kind of like you recognize the wind is blowing, you see it knocking down some trees, and like you kind of get to the point where like you realize just how much you can take, you know, until you get blown over. Like you be watching all this news stuff, doing all this scrolling on social media, you get all this information in you, and it overwhelms you and starts to blow you over. So he's like, you gotta recognize, you know, to step back, you know what I mean? So you don't get blown over. And he's like, it's also not good to pretend none of this stuff is happening, but you need to find that, you know, that middle ground. Kind of like, I think what he was also getting is recognize your limits with this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it all by myself. I can't do all of this and do all this. Like, you see all this stuff on the news and people suffering. You want to do something about it. You want to help. You want to try to, you want to do that. But you can't. And it's not a negative thing or no faith thing. It's just, you can't. You can't do everything. You can't help everything. But you can pray. You can do your best through God's grace and God's help to, you know, soften your heart and hopefully be gentle to the person next to you and soften their heart. And maybe that would be better at changing things around you rather than just worrying about it. I don't know nothing about that. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Stay prayerful.